All right, so let's try the hour of code for Dance Party. And by the way, people always manage to kind of get lost when they get in here. So let me show you where you go. Click on Dance Party, and then you want this one right here, Dance Party Start. There is a part two, and I might assign this because the part two is a little bit more challenging. So I might assign this. But anyways, first we're starting with this one. There are other links around here where you can kind of create your own dances and stuff. But just like all the other hours of code, if you don't see these dots up here, these dots represent all the levels that you're supposed to beat. If you don't see those dots, you're in the wrong place. And so you're not going to get any points for what you're doing, okay? You're probably in a kind of a creative mode instead of actually beating the puzzles and finishing the levels. All right, anyways, level 1 of Dance Party. Now that video that I just skipped, if you watch that, it'll kind of show you what Dance Party's about. But basically for Dance Party, all you do is you have characters that you make dance on screen to a bunch of songs. You can change their dance moves every like few measures and stuff. It's pretty cool. So to get started with this one, you just drag this make a new cat at the center and put it in the setup block. So that's it. Choose cat or sloth to create your first dancer. So if you don't want a cat, we can make it the sloth. Let's try it. Cool. So that was super duper simple, right? There was only one thing we could do. Now in the Flappy Bird hour of code, I talked about how the orange when run button was kind of like a setup button, the event handler, right? And now they've just changed it. The orange one they've just called setup now. So they really called it what it is for this one. All right, moving on to level 2. In Flappy Bird, I talked about events a little bit and something called event handlers. And all an event handler is something that handles any events that might occur. Okay, so it's a part of code that you make to tell your program what to do when it sees something happen or detects something happening. Okay, so watch this video and it'll explain that a lot more. But basically, the way you identify them in these lessons in code.org is they're green like this, and you recall that most code.org blocks have a little notch above them so that you can stack them together. Event handlers don't have a notch in the top because they have to be the top of the code, the top of this section of code, okay? Because nothing can start before they do. This says when you press the up button, you're supposed to run code. So let's try that. Use the cats do a clap. Okay. Let's do it. Run. And now if I hit up, he'll clap. Cool. So again, we've got the orange setup, which is another type of event handler. It's the event that happens when you hit the run button. And then these are other events. When up is pressed, when down is pressed. And we also have a when left is pressed that we can probably mess around with too. All right, program each dancer to move when you press different keys. Okay, we've got cat and bear. So let's have cats do random when down is pressed. And let's have maybe both of them do something different when left is pressed. Let's do sloths instead. Okay, so up, down, and left. Well, I'll do random. Let's try it. Up, down, left, left, down, up, down, left, down, up. Cool. And that should be it. And I think these usually, you have to run them. Do you see how it says measure right here? That'll be important in a minute, but just know that I think you usually have to run these for like 8 measures before it's done. So this should get to 8 measures. There we go. And we're done. All right, continuing on. Level 4, Dance Party measures. So this will teach you about measures, but pretty much in music, measures just mean every like 4 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time I count to 4, that's one measure going by in a song. Some songs are slower, so you would count those measures off more slowly. Some songs are faster. Some songs actually only have 3 beats in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But for, I bet you 100% of the songs that are on this list, every single song, the measures have 4 beats because that's the most normal thing to have. All right, moving on. So we've got an after 4 measures block. So when this event happens, the computer will be looking for this event. And when we get 4 measures into the song, they want us to use this block, okay? And I think that's literally it for this whole thing, okay? Because they're just teaching you about the concept of measure. So we should, if I hit run, when this gets to 4, you should see it start to do a different dance. 3 and 4. All right, here he goes. There we go. So yeah, it's after 4 measures. So pretty much at the start of 5, it would be doing a different dance. Very cool. All right, moving on. So there's a lot more we can do with measures here. This level 5, I think, let me hit start over on this because I helped a student with this one before. But now they want you to add an after 6 measures event handler, this green event handler, and now they want you to add an action to it. Make the dancer start a new move after 6 measures. Okay, and that's literally it. That's that whole thing. Super easy. Again, guys, read the instructions. They make it all so easy. Use this new block to set up a group of smaller background dancers around a lead dancer in the middle. Okay, so we can do that in the setups. Make 10 new sloths in a circle. Okay, that sounds good to me. And we could put a unicorn at the center. Okay. Cool, that's working. And then, you know, we could have some fun. All right, moving on. So I think this is all we had to do was add the backup dancers. And that's it. Okay, and you could set this to whatever you want. It's pretty weird. A bottom row of 19 frogs. You can really get messy with it. All right, moving on. Properties. Okay, so let's talk about properties. Every dancer has a set of properties that controls what it looks like. Use the set size to question marks under a green event block to make them appear closer or farther away. Okay, so maybe we'll do our own new green event block. It doesn't matter which one you use. They're just saying any old green event block. You could probably even put it in this one that already existed. But we want to set their size to 50. Let's try it. Here we go. It should happen now. Yeah, they got larger. Very cool. So you could set this size to probably whatever you want almost. Let's try 100. And here we go. Cool. So you can change their size whenever you want. You can also do all sorts of other stuff. Set tint to 100. Set rotation to 100. And here we go. Cool. So you can really play around with them. But I think in order for you to beat that one, you got to keep it on size. And just like always, you got to run these long enough that it counts it as being done. Moving on. Dancers have a tint property that can add a layer of color. Try changing the tint of one of your dancers. Okay. So where was that? Oh, set. It was in here. So instead of size, you just got to drop this down and change it to tint. And it should happen right now. 222. Let's see. And let's make this not take so long. One measure. Yeah, there we go. I think it's working. Set tint to 3. Yeah, it's working. Okay, and that's it for that one. Stage 9. Okay, this new block is a special kind of event that's triggered over and over. It's a repeat block. It's no big deal. We've used repeat blocks many times. So cool, now with this new pink event block, right, which repeats over and over, we can have things change every like one measure, for instance, right? So we could really go pretty nuts with this. So let's make the robots do a random dance. And then let's make the unicorn do a different random dance. Anyways, there's all sorts of cool settings to check out with this one. And when you are done, they say to press the finish button, okay? So have a lot of fun with this one. Add a bunch of different stuff that'll change every measure, and then watch what happens as you watch the, listen to the song and watch the dance, okay? And by the way, you can choose whatever song you want to listen to. All right, and then level 10, I think, is just another creative one where you get all the different tools that they've shown you. You have to go into these drawers right here, these different drawers, and you can choose all sorts of different stuff. And then you're supposed to set up a big cool dance, okay? And choose your favorite song out of here, and really make something neat, all right? And then when you're done, you hit finish again. Cool.